Hello all, welcome back to Tech Capture. So I'm here with one more amazing video. So in this video we are going to see how we can monitor our Google Cloud environment with a Grafana. So there are two ways where we can monitor a Google Cloud using Grafana. Either we can use a Grafana Cloud where we have to just create our account and provide the authentication, and we can monitor our Google Cloud environment on a Grafana. Second way, we can host our Grafana instance in a Google Cloud environment itself. We can set it up on a GKE, or we can set it up on a VM instance, and then we'll add our Google Cloud environment for monitoring. So in this video we are specifically looking for self-hosted Grafana. So what we are going to do in this video, so first we'll set up our own Grafana instance on a Google Cloud VM. Then we'll configure authentication so it can pull our monitoring and logging data, or it can query that data. And then we'll add a Google Cloud monitoring matrix and Google Cloud logging, and we'll just play around some features of the Grafana. So just first try to understand what is a Grafana. So Grafana is open source platform for visualizing and analyzing data. So this is open source and completely free. If you are not using the cloud instance, if you are using the Grafana cloud instance, then you have to pay for that based on their subscription fees. But we'll use a self-hosted Grafana, so we'll use the binaries to install the Grafana, and we'll host our own Grafana instance in our own Google Cloud environment. And it also allows to create interactive dashboards, alerts, and see the display the metrics, logs, and traces from the different sources. So Google Cloud is just one example. We can monitor any cloud platform or any of the applications using the Grafana. So Grafana has wide range of plugins and wide range of like dashboard they have provided, inbuilt dashboard they have provided. So we can take advantage of this Grafana to monitor our environment. So without wasting much time, let's go to the Google Cloud environment, and we'll try to create our first virtual machine on which we'll host our Grafana. Okay, so let's go to the Google Cloud console now. So now we are in a Google Cloud console. So let me just open one more tab here, and here I'll just go to the compute page to create our compute instance on which we have to host our Grafana instance. So we can host it on a GKE as well, but we'll be using the VM instance here to host our Grafana. So okay, so there are already four VMs are there, three GK nodes and one is application VMs I created, so that I can see some metrics in my Grafana when I go to the dashboard. Once I create it, I can see some amount of data, so that's why I created this instances here. So let's go and create instance, and we'll name it as a Grafana server. So I'll just name it as a Grafana server. Okay, before that I'll be using the custom service account, so we can understand what roles and permissions are required when we are using the self-hosted Grafana to query the logging data, to query the monitoring data. So I'll be using the custom service account. So let me first create one service account from IAM here. So let me just go to the service account, and let's create one service account here. So for now I am not giving any permissions or role to this service account. So let's create one empty service account without any roles and permissions. I'll just give the name as a Grafana SA, that is Grafana service account. I'll just create and continue, and I'll just done. So I have not assigned any role, I just used service account, I just created it, and now that service account I will use in my compute instance. I'll just name it as a Grafana server because we'll be hosting Grafana on this server. So most of the things I will keep default. I will use the Debian image, that is fine for me. So here I will use a service account which we created, that is Grafana SA, and access scope, so we can manage it using the IAM. Allow traffic, so we want to access the web page, so I'll just allow it, and also will install the ops agent for monitoring. Network I will keep default, I won't change anything in network. I already have firewall there to access the HTTPS traffic as well as login into the virtual machines. So the Grafana servers is being created. Once it is created, we'll log in into it and we'll see how we can download Grafana. So meanwhile, just go to the official website of Grafana and we'll see how we can download Grafana. So they are having official page. Okay, so here I will not go with the enterprise version, we will go with open source, and I'll just select any version I can see. Okay, let's go with this is a preview. I'll just take this version. Okay, So we are using Ubuntu, so we can use this command. So let's first see if a virtual machine is created. Okay, it is having some error. Let's see what is the error. Okay, so the quota exceeded for US Central 1. So let me choose another region here. Let's delete it. So I already have 4 VMs and IPs are exhausted, so I'll just using the free trial account. So let me choose another region here. Instead of US Central 1, I'll just choose US East 4, so that doesn't impact anything for us. And we have to choose our service account. Same thing, and I will create it, so it should not throw an error now. And we can see the Grafana server is ready, so I can SSH directly because I already have firewall set up to log in into my instances in my default networks. So if you are not able to log in, you have to create firewall which will allow traffic on port 22. So it is logging into the Grafana server, and okay, so let me just expand it, and first let me update the packages. Okay, and then we'll go and copy the command as it is which are available here. Okay, so I'll just copy all these three command at once. I'll just paste it. It will take a couple of minutes. And it will install a Grafana. Okay, now you can see it has given the command as well, sudo systemctl start Grafana server. Okay, now we'll see the status. Okay, so the server is in a running state. Okay, so Grafana is running, so let me just close this and try to access a Grafana on our external IP. So this is our external IP. Let me just click on this, or you can copy the IP address, external IP address you can copy and put it in the browser. So this is not HTTPS, so we'll be using HTTP. So you can see it is showing refuse to connect because we are using the default port. So first we have to check on which port Grafana is running. So I know that default port is 3000, but we have to check in configuration file. So I just want to show where all Grafana configurations are available, so you can check it in case you are facing any issue with the port. Okay, so simply go to sudo cd /etc /Grafana. So this is a Grafana directory, and here you can see okay, let me go cd /etc /Grafana. Okay, and let me see the file. You can see the Grafana ini here, so you need to do sudo to cat this file. So I'll just check the Grafana HTTP port. Okay, you can see the HTTP port is 3000. I just cat the file. You can read some complete file as well. Okay, so you can read a complete file as well, all the configuration you can see, but I just wanted to see the port, so I just executed this grep command to see the port. So it means my Grafana is running on port 3000, and that is the default port for Grafana. So I'll go and just add port here. Okay, so it will display me a login screen for my Grafana. Now here we are not aware about the username and password, so this is a default installation. So there should be one admin password and admin login here, but we have to check that in a configuration file again. So what I will do, I'll just go back to the server and check what is username and password for admin. So let's do sudo grep. So I'll just use I5, so it will show a few more line. Okay, so now we can see what is the admin user. It is admin and password also admin. So let me see if I can log in with this credential. User is admin and password also admin. So now I'm logging into server, and yes, I'm able to log in, and immediately it asks me to change. So I'll just change a password. So you can keep whatever you want. I will just keep it like admin, and password I will keep something else. Okay, and I'll just submit. Now I change username and password. Okay, so it should be the new password, so I'll just add new password, and both should match, and I can submit. Now I'm logged in into my Grafana. Okay, so this is your Grafana. So currently you won't see anything. This is completely blank, no dashboard, no data sources. So now this Grafana is a visualization tool only. So to query the data, to visualize data, you have to add some data source to Grafana. So Grafana is only a visualization tool. You have to add some data sources. So I can go to connections. So for Google Cloud, Google has provided the inbuilt plugin, so you don't need to do any kind of additional integration to send a Google Cloud matrix or a Google Cloud logs to Grafana. So Google provided the inbuilt plugin for a Grafana data source. So if you search on Google Cloud plugin for Grafana, you will see one Google blog where Google has provided plugin for Google Cloud logging as well as a Google Cloud monitoring. So you can see this, how it works, all the documentation you can see for logging as well as a monitoring. So I'll create new connection with this plugin. So there are multiple, as I said, it can be connected with any data source like Azure, Google Cloud, AWS. So I'll be connecting it with a Google Cloud. So just type Google and you can see the options: Google Cloud logging, Google Cloud monitoring, Google Cloud trace, looker. All these options are available here. So I'll simply select a Google Cloud monitoring first, and then I'll go for logging. So just add new data source added. The important part is here that we have to set up the authentication. So how you will set up the authentication? Now we are already using this on a Google Cloud Compute Engine. We can use a default service account. Default means which is used to connect, or which is used along with the VM instance. So I will test it and it will fail because our service account does not have any permission. So let me try it. I'm just testing it and it failed because it does not have any permission. So I'll go to IAM, okay, and I will give some permissions to my service account. So let's copy the service account. I'll go to IAM. So I will try with minimum permission. So I will try with a monitoring permission first. Okay, so I'll just grant access. I'll just add this service account here. Okay, I'll just give monitoring viewer role and see if it can fetch monitoring data. Monitoring viewer, that is read only access to all monitoring metrics. Let's save it and try again. If still gives error, we'll just add some more permissions. Okay, so let's test it again, and you can see successfully queried the Google Cloud monitoring API because it's able to access a Google Cloud monitoring APIs now. So let's go to the dashboard. So there are some inbuilt dashboards. Okay, so dashboard for data processing, I'll just import these dashboards. Okay, so I'll just import one by one. so we don't need to create new. So these are already provided by this plugin, Google Cloud monitoring plugin in Grafana. I'll just use this. Okay, and I'll just go to anyone. I'll just go to VM instance because I have already VM instance created. Okay, so you can ignore this warning because this is for Angular in latest version, so you can ignore. But now you can see the data. Let me go for last 30 minutes, and you can see the data here. You can see the VM instance received packages. You can see the send package is nothing big. We haven't sent anything from outside the VM, so you can see this data, correct? So this is for a VM instance. Let me just start it. Let me go to the dashboard, and let me go to the data source again, and let me just check another dashboard. So I'll just check the cloud function dashboard. So we have a dashboard for cloud functions as well, and you can see the data here as well. So we are able to see, so these are the inbuilt dashboard. So suppose we have to build our own dashboard, so I can simply go add visualization. So this is adding visualization in the same dashboard, so I won't do it. I'll just create new dashboard. So suppose I'll go to dashboard, I'll create new dashboards, add visualizations. Okay, I will choose tag driver, and here we have to choose the metric. So for which service I have to create, so suppose I have to create for I'll take it for BigQuery, and job count. Okay, I will use for job count or query count. So currently you don't see any data here because we are checking only for last 6 hours. So let me do it for last 30 days, and it will show some data. Okay, so you can see some data. So this is a new dashboard we have created, and let's save it. New dashboard, I'll just give a BigQuery job count. I'll just save it. So we have created a new dashboards and visualizations here. Okay, so you can create many dashboards here. So suppose I want to add one more visualization, but this time I have to create for storage bucket. So let's check storage, and I'll just request count. I'll create one request count and past 30 days. I'll choose it last 24 hour. Okay, or I will choose last 7 days. So this is on one more visualizations I have created. I can add filter as well for a specific bucket I have to create. I can add that for specific bucket, and I can save. So we created a one more visualization. We can change the title, we can edit it, we can just change the title name, we can give storage. Okay, and just apply. So you can create multiple dashboards here. So this is only for the monitoring we have checked. Now we have to add one more data source for logging. So I'll just add one more data source, Google Cloud. Okay, so we have to add in new connections, and here we have to search for Google Cloud logging, and the same process we have to follow, but we need additional permission. So first we have to install it. Okay, once it is installed, we have to add data source and same authentication. Now we have to provide permissions. I'll just go service account, save and test. It will fail because we haven't option given permissions for logging. We just giving permissions for monitoring. So let's add permissions again. So where is Grafana SA? So this is our Grafana SA. Just edit the permissions, and we'll add one more role. So we'll just add one more role, that is logging viewer now. So let's see for service, what is the name? cloud logging or logging. Yeah, logging, and these are the role for logging. Logs viewer. Okay, so this is the role name. Let me save it, and let's, where is our Grafana? Yeah, let's test it again. Permission denied for all resources. So let's see if additional permissions is required. So let's add logging admin permissions. It should work for logging viewer. Might be it is taking time to propagate, but let's see. Oh, sorry, I wrongly selected this. Permission denied for all resources. So it is not able to connect to the Google Cloud. So let's try to give a viewer role. I'll just add a viewer role here and see. Yeah, and it worked fine. So let's explore data, and we can see all logs here. So last, say, 6 hours, log bucket default, and we can see all the logs from Google Cloud here. So you can see all the logs here. So whatever the logs available in Google Cloud, you can see all the logs here, and you can simply go to the cloud logging and see the logs. So here you can add views as well, all logs, or you want default log. You can give the filters for service, like in you want to select a specific log for specific service, you can add that query. The same way you add a query in a Google Cloud logging. Okay, so now you enabled Google Cloud monitoring and Google Cloud logging both. So in this way we can monitor a Google Cloud environment on Grafana. So you can create more dashboards as per your requirements. So there is data processing dashboard. So this is for mostly your, this is PubSub, this is data flow. So if I check for last 7 days, I will see something in data flow as well, because I had some data flow jobs. So you can see all data here. You can create multiple dashboard based on your requirement. So this is the main configuration part. I wanted to show how we can set up self-hosted Grafana and monitor our Google Cloud environment. So that's it for this video. If you stuck somewhere, just let me know in comment section and I'll try to help you out. So in this way we can set up a self-hosted Grafana to monitor our Google Cloud environment. So thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you again in another video.